Hey guys, today I'm going to explain to you all what we need to pay attention to when buying trendy brand clothing and similar items on Xianyu. What should we be cautious about? First, let's click on a few links to check them out. Including shoes. Let's start with these for now. For example, this seller is selling clothes from the brand BC. First of all, I can tell you, this is a counterfeit imitation brand. But this seller is quite honest, at least. The price isn't very expensive. Compared to the price of genuine products, it's definitely cheaper. And for items like this, you don't need to wonder if they're genuine. These are definitely high-quality counterfeits. For products like this, you actually don't need to consider whether they're genuine or not. You can just treat them as counterfeits directly. Now moving on. Take this shoe, for example. Let's say this is a Li-Ning shoe. Maybe I should switch to another example here. Let's search for Nike instead. Air Force One. For instance, there are many sellers here offering Nike Air Force One shoes of this model. You'll notice that many of the prices are very low. From what I remember, on the official website now, the price of genuine ones should be around 600 to 700 yuan, right? I think that's about it. So if the price here is this much lower, they're basically all counterfeits too. Including this one. It says it can be authenticated. But in reality, it's still most likely a counterfeit. Because at this price point, it's just not possible. Look at the price. Actually, when you buy clothes on Xianyu, or luxury clothing and shoes like these, you only need to pay attention to one thing. If the price is far lower than that of genuine products, then you can't possibly be buying a genuine item, even if the product is manufactured in China. The price still won't differ that much. Secondly, we also need to check the seller's credit rating badge, as well as their reviews. For items with such a huge price gap, if you accidentally buy them thinking they're genuine, you won't lose too much money anyway, since they're sold at a relatively low price. But there are a few exceptions. For example, take this one. The clothes from this brand that they're selling are priced at 8,200 yuan. This is the kind of item we need to be extra careful with. We have to check if it's a counterfeit. In cases like this, for products with relatively high prices, you can contact the seller and ask if they can provide more detailed photos, such as photos of the care label. Also, this seller, as indicated, is located overseas. It clearly states overseas here. At the same time, we should also check their reviews. So far, there are no negative reviews. Additionally, in their listing, it also says that after payment, they can ship via UPS. And if we're in the United States, we can do an in-person transaction. We can meet offline to pay and pick up the item. So in a situation like this, it's most likely not a problem. There's a high chance that this product is definitely genuine. But there are still a few rare cases. If the listed price is relatively high, then we must be careful to confirm whether the product is genuine. At the same time, we also need to check if the seller has a credit badge. and their previous reviews. Actually, when it comes to luxury clothing and shoes, there's another thing like this one here. The seller even included a photo of the invoice. Which makes it look like it's definitely genuine. But even in cases like this, we still need to be cautious. Some of these are still counterfeits. There's even a situation that sometimes happens. For example, take the clothes we just looked at. After you place an order, when you actually receive the package, they send you a completely different item. Then, when you try to contact them, they don't reply, because if a dispute arises on Xianyu, we need to negotiate through the platform to handle after-sales issues. So there's this loophole. That's why we must be extra careful with high-value products. Another high-risk category is shoes from brands like LV. Same situation applies. Let's take a look at clothes again. Items priced at just a few dozen yuan are obviously counterfeit at a glance. No need to even consider them. Let's take another example. Look at this piece of clothing. You'll notice that this seller, and this other seller too, their product images are identical. Have you noticed that? The pictures are exactly the same. Let's open these two links and check. You'll even find that all their other product images are exactly the same, but they're not the same seller. This is something we need to be wary of. Chances are they source their goods from the same clothing wholesale supplier, and their prices, as you can see, are basically the same too. In cases like this, even though they have different accounts, they might actually be the same person, or they could be different people who buy from the same clothing supplier to resell the products. This is when we need to be aware that these products are definitely counterfeits. But when ordering items like this, we also need to be careful, because even though they have these brand labels, when they ship, they'll claim it's a genuine product, but in reality, they might switch the item when shipping, or give you a genuine brand bag, but put a counterfeit piece of clothing inside it. This kind of situation also happens, so we need to be alert too. This loophole that basically covers the high-risk areas for luxury clothing and shoes. Everyone just needs to keep these points in mind. When ordering this type of product, the first thing is don't be tempted by low prices. For example, if a product's price is far lower than the genuine one, and you still think it might be genuine, you need to get rid of that thought right away. This alone can help you avoid 80% of the scams. The second tip, if you're buying high-value items from a seller, like expensive clothing, it's best to confirm with the seller multiple times whether they can provide more product photos and whether they can provide purchase records. Even ask for invoices or other proof like that. See if they can meet these requests. If they can, then it's most likely not a problem. If they also mention that they accept offline transactions, meaning meeting in person to pay and pick up the item, you can consider this method. It will be more secure this way. I also want to advise everyone on how to protect your rights if something goes wrong. After receiving the clothing, we must take photos. Take photos of the package and the product you received. Recording a video is even better. If a dispute arises, we can use these as evidence. For friends who are overseas customers, if you're ordering expensive clothing or other high-value products, I suggest you can consider the service we provide. We offer assistance with ordering, including sample inspection and photography services. This way, before the product reaches your hands, we will first inspect it for you and take photos and videos to confirm with you. This effectively avoids dealing with potential scammer sellers and provides you with more security. Additionally, if you have any other questions, you can also contact me via WhatsApp for consultation at any time. This consultation service is free. If you have any issues at all, you can also leave a comment below my channel. You're also welcome to subscribe to my channel. In the future, I will share more content about shopping on Xianyu, providing you with purchasing advice and tips to avoid scams. Okay, that's it for today's video. Thank you all.